All right, namaste, Hare Krishna. Time for some yoga. You're going to see my little spot here. I want you to make a little spot for your yoga mat, for your yoga practice. So a few things you're going to need to think about. One, is your space appropriate? Like, do we need to turn off the phone? Do we need to shut the blinds? Do we need to turn the heater on or off? Warmth is good. Are we inside? Are we outside? Are you going to use a screen, or you just want to use your speakers? I'm trying to design these classes that you could actually not look at the screen and just listen to my voice, the instructions. The screen is going to be good for some people, but if you practice with me regularly and you know what you're doing, try and just close your eyes so you can listen to the audio. Again, you're going to notice what is the key component of our yoga practice is sound. One of them in Hātha Yoga. Remember, Hātha Yoga, we'll talk about that more as we progress. I'm just lighting some incense there and offering it to Radha and Krishna. You might light some incense too. Candle, incense, your deities. If you've got deities, perform your yoga in front of your deities. So take some time to set up your sacred space. You've got a few minutes to do that. Let's just add the mantra here. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Budale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Dvaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gora Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. We're going to start in a wide knee child's pose. So spread those fingers wide, open up the hands, the elbows find the floor, tuck the chin down a little, toes together, knees are wide there. Let's start some breathing here. Remember, we start with the exhalation, always in through the nose, you know that. But exhale out of the mouth. This is what's good about a home practice, my people, is that you can make some sound with the breath and not worry about feeling subconscious. So let's breathe big here. Remember to open up the lungs. After a few sighs, blow that breath out. We're ready to lift up to down dog. Tuck the toes. We're going to start in this down dog. The hands can stay as they were, so those fingers are spread wide. We're going to bend the knees a little bit here. Remember, down dog, main priority is lengthening the spine. So bend the knees 10, 20, 30%. Press your butt to the sky. Tuck the chin down. Let's start documenting the breath there. Breathing all the way up to the belly button. Use that exhalation out of the mouth. Stay in your down dog. I'm just checking that the camera is still recording, because we don't want to go through the whole practice and then be a problem with the recording. So we're still in down dog here. A point in case is I am actively trying to teach in a very representative way of what we would have in person together. And here I'd like you to just exhale down into child's pose. So open the knees wide, keep the hands cemented to that same spot. Now your job here is to move between these two postures at your own pace. This practice is a very kind of strong but tranquil pace this morning or this afternoon, whenever you're practicing this practice. We're going to keep it pretty slow. But here we're going to open the hips, we're going to open the spine, we're going to open that breath. So from down dog to child's pose. And then when you're ready, you're going to tuck the toes, keep the hands cemented and fixed, and lift back up into downward facing dog. On that inhale, use the exhalation to maybe bring the heels down, or you can keep the knees bent if you want and just lift up those hips. I'm going to start to step back through the heels, just like I'm walking up and down, to start to lengthen the back of the legs. Then exhaling, opening the knees wide to come back down to the floor, child's pose. The inhalation to lift you up to the tippy toes of down dog. The exhale, maybe the heels down. Remember to exhale all the way out to the end. Inhale to the tippy toes. Exhale to child's pose. So we're going to follow the rhythm of the breath. We're going to follow the movement of the breath. Inhale to lift. Exhale, heels down. Inhale to the tippy toes. Exhale to child's pose. So keep following the breath. Start to visualize the inside of the body. So remember, you want to imagine that you've got X-ray vision and you can see inside your body. Now finish in child's pose. So make your way down to the floor. If you're still in down dog, find child's pose. And from here, come to a seated position. I'm using a block here to sit. You could just sit on your heels or take a cross-legged position. Time for some pranayama. We're going to do Nadi Shodhan here. So some breath work. I'm going to talk you through Nadi Shodhan. If you know what you're doing, just take it up now. Otherwise, you're going to bring the left hand to your left knee. Have the palm facing upwards. Join the index finger to the thumb. So that's the left hand on top of the left knee. Index finger to the thumb. We're going to use the right hand now to control the flow of the breath through the nostril passages. So I want you to get your middle finger and your index finger of the right hand and place them in between the brows, so on the third eye. You're going to use your thumb and your ring finger to control the flow of the breath through the nostril passageways. We're going to start by closing the left nostril with the ring finger. And now inhale deeply through the right side. So take in a deep, long breath through that right side. From there, close off the right, release the left, and follow the breath out through the left side. So exhale through the left channel. From there, you're going to inhale through the left side. You're going to close the left and exhale out through the right. So we're doing alternate side breathing here. After every inhalation, you simply switch sides for the exhalation. After every inhalation, you simply switch sides for the exhalation. And start to really monitor the breath. Have the eyes closed, let those shoulders sink away from the ears. The chin should be level here, and there should be no tension in the jaw. Follow the breath in your mind's eye. Watch it come in. Watch it go out. Remember, the most important thing we want to do is finish the exhalation fully. So follow that breath all the way out to the very, very, very end. Once you feel comfortable with the side-to-side movement of the breath, and you're following the breath in your mind's eye, start to find the spaces in between the breath. So after you've inhaled the breath, I want you to hold the breath in for a little longer than you normally would. And similarly, after you've exhaled the breath, see if you can hold the breath outside of the body for a little longer than you normally would. So we create these spaces in between the breath. Try and imagine that the breath, or think about the breath as having 4 parts. The first part is the inhalation. The second part is the retention of the inhalation inside the body. The third part of the breath is the exhalation all the way to the end. And the fourth part of the breath is the retention of the breath outside of the body. You want to finish on an exhalation out of the left side. From here, take up downward facing dog. So once you've exhaled fully out of that left side, come back into down dog. And you might bend the knees, you might move those heels down. When you're ready, right leg to the ceiling for Ekapada. Now I'm going to let you know something, and this is cool. I'm a little bit out of yoga practice, been off the mat. I've been going to 1 or 2 classes a week, but you know me, I like to practice daily. Actually, I taught every day of the week, a few times a day. So this is cool because I want to be here with you. If you're not a regular yogi, if you're a 1 or 2 times a week yogi, we're on the same page now. And that's cool because here I've got a bend in my knee because I just need to let things be gentle. It's going to take me a while of consistency to get nice and open, so we're going to keep it chill. So with that right foot up in Ekapada, now I want you to bend the knee, get into the hip opener. And we can draw circles with the toes to rotate the ankle socket. We want to smooth out that ankle rotation. Use your X-ray vision. So see inside the body. Visualize that ankle circumference nice and lubricated, nice and smooth. There's the blood flow down to the brain here. A lot of time we spend upside down in yoga. We're going to step back down with that right foot, coming back into Ardha Mukasana, down dog. On the exhale, let the knees come down into tabletop. So both knees to the mat. You're going to untuck the toes here and inhale to lift the chin, drop the belly. Exhale, round, so some cat-cows here. Now a great opportunity for the full exhalation out of the mouth. Inhale, lift the chin, dip the belly. And again, that full exhalation all the way out to the end. So blowing the breath out. Tuck the toes, inhale back into down dog. Now Ekapada, Eka 1, Pada foot. Ekapada with the left leg to the ceiling, to the sky. Yep. You're going to bend that knee when you're ready for the hip opener, but we're giving it time here. We're not in a rush. Again, because I'm out of practice, I'm going to take it slow and open the body mindfully. You might need to do the same thing too. I'm going to just add a little side note here. Consistency is really the goal. So we often talk about enjoying our yoga practice. This is one of my major teaching points that I want you to be all over my yogi, is that you need to make your practice enjoyable and therefore sustainable. So if you're trying to get into a home practice, a regular practice, if you've kind of dropped the ball, remember it's not about not dropping the ball. It's about how quickly we can pick it back up. Really, that is the practice. Remember, you're in Kali Yuga, in Maya. As a yogi, you're in a very hard position. So you know that being a human is challenging, right? Imagine trying to be a yogi human, where you're actually trying to defeat illusion, you're trying to come in to goodness, you're trying to activate full self-realization so you can be a gift to the world. It's very hard to do. Come down into your child's pose after that left Ekapada with the rotation of the ankle. You're going to find the floor now. You're going to flip yourself over onto your back. So from child's pose, bring it to the mat on the back, head to the other end, and we're going to take a bridge. For bridge, place the feet underneath the knees there. Lift up the hips. You might want to roll those shoulders underneath and interlace the fingers. up to the belly. Keep the chin tucked, nice and relaxed in the jaw. As you bring those hips down, bring the arms behind you. So again, a slow, consistent, enjoyable practice. We're taking our time here. When you're ready, bring the hands back down. And on the inhalations, we're following the breath. Inhale to lift the hips. You can switch the clasp there of the fingers. So when you interlace in one direction, switch it, flip it, interlace in the opposite. So we're switching it up for the neural pathways there, keeping things interesting. So again, it's a very hard position that you're in. So be kind to yourself with your yoga practice. Yoga practice is life. Life is really the art of finding yourself, isn't it? It's the journey. And although this might just seem very basic, we're just breathing, we're just moving the body, I want you to see in the simplicity the greatness. So all of those external things that happen in your life, all of the comings and goings in the mind, remember in our yoga practice, we're not concerned about the external world. That's why it's nice to close the eyes. On your next bridge, you come up, you could lift up the right leg, point or open the sole to the ceiling. Now let's take a little hip opener. You take the right side of the right ankle to the top of the left knee and let that right knee come down and see that knee, that shape there. It's like a 4 shape, a hip opener here, a triangle. Keep the eyes closed. Once you're there, keep that breath. You might lift the left heel up if you want, just coming onto the balls of the left foot. Let's inhale to lift the right foot back to the sky. Exhale, pop the foot down on the mat. Inhale the left leg up. Then left side of the left ankle to the top side of the right knee when you're ready. So the hip opener here. Breathing in. Remember to hold the breath like we did in our Nadi Shodhan, in our pranayama. The side to side breathing. Remember we were finding the 4 parts of the breath. You want to constantly reference that. So although we're talking about enjoyment being the key with our yoga practice, we also want to bring the breath is more important than the asana. So enjoyment is number 1 priority. You can see Krishna back there. Well, right now you can't see Krishna because my leg's in the way. But Krishna being the supreme personality of Godhead, that's a huge title. So don't overthink it. But with Krishna, everything is beautiful. Everything is enjoyment. Krishna, God, is not suffering. So really when we practice with enjoyment, when we practice with love, we're on the path. We're actually liberating. From here, I want you to take the hands behind you, or you can keep them to the side. We're going to just draw some circles with the knees now. So once your butt's down on the mat, bring the knees together. You can take the hands on top of the kneecaps if you want, and just draw circles around the lower back. So we're massaging the lower back into the ground. Change the direction. What we do one way, we do the other way. Massaging the belly, massaging the lower back. Arms can be behind you, they can be on the knees, they can be beside you. Don't overthink it. Now pop the feet back down on the floor. Take your hands underneath your butt so you're seated on the back of the hands. We're going to go for a little bike ride now. Pick up the feet and start to cycle the legs. You want to keep the chin nice and level or a little bit tucked so the back of the head is open. And if you want more of a core workout, here we go longer with the legs. If you want less effort, you make the circles higher and more central. Again, we're not only toning the core here, but we're also just promoting fluidity. Remember, the body is very fluid. It responds well to movement. When you're ready, we're going to backpedal and change the direction. So you can think about the nadis, the nadi pathways. Well, you heard that word before, nadi, nadi shodan. Nadi means river. 72,000 invisible rivers in the body. After the cycling, let's bring the legs back up into an L shape. And now we're going to imagine that we're doing breaststroke in a swimming pool. So we're going to make big loops with the legs. So you might keep the hands underneath your butt. Some people might feel okay to take the hands behind them. However, you just want to keep yourself nice and stable. And let the legs move in these big loops. Again, you might think about the nadi flow. So 72,000 invisible rivers in the body. Obviously, we've got big rivers down through the legs. 5 major rivers to the toes, just like to the arms and the fingers. Of course, the biggest river in the body, the Sushumna, through the spine. None of this really matters. The prana, the understanding of prana, the understanding of nadis and chakras, so insignificant really when we're talking about yoga. Yoga is a lot bigger than the energetics of the body, but we live in a body, so good to know, good to know. Keep breathing. Find that breath retention. Now just go for some freestyle movements here, some spaghetti legs, jellyfish legs, any type of movement here with the legs just to promote freedom. Maybe you want to shake the legs. Maybe you want to imagine there's invisible socks on your toes that you're trying to flick off. Send a vibration through the legs, shaking the bones, shaking the muscles. So feel really good there. We're getting that blood flow down to the brain, which is one of the main things that we're doing here. When you're ready, start a rocking and rolling. Bring the knees down and use the inhalation to rock up and use the exhalation to fall back. This is more about massaging the spine. There's a little bit of core work, and if you want, you could find the balancing point on the sit bones as you rock up. Find that balancing point. You can open up the legs a little bit there like a half boat pose. Exhale to come back. Inhale to rock up. Exhale out of the mouth. Let's add some repetitions here. You might want to imagine you're rowing your boat. Inhale, exhale. Opening, lengthening the legs, opening the arms. Inhale, exhale. On the exhalation, rock back. On the inhalation, rock up. Exhale. Inhale. You want the breath to be prominent. Here again, we want to use that fall back as we time it with the exhalation out of the mouth. So as you hit the base of the lungs, you're pushing the breath out with some volition. So we're adding to the detoxing, pushing the breath out. The inhalation to rock up, the exhalation to fall back. Again, keep the eyes closed when you can. Once you know what's going on, close the eyes. Still rocking and rolling here. Still following the breath. A little plow time. Maybe you feel comfortable. Normally we don't hit plow until the end, but you might feel good with those legs all the way over. And now a little malasana. See if you can rock up and find malasana on that inhale. That's the squat. Mala. Of course, garland. When you're in the squat, when you're in malasana, take the hands to prayer. Take the thumbs to your bindu, the third eye. Actually, there's 7. eyes. Press the thumbs into that brow, in between the brows, into that spot. Keep the chin tucked. Let's open the back of the neck. Let the shoulders sink. Sink the weight into the heels. Use the inhalation to broaden through the back of the chest here. You might now massage the forehead. Use the heels of the palms and slide across the forehead. So you're stimulating, you're pressing. And from here we're going to enter a forward fold. So head goes down, take your butt up, legs start to lengthen. So a forward fold, keep a nice knee bend. Remember, we're taking it easy. We're getting into our practice. Still, we're being gentle with the body. So keep the knees bent. The main goal here is that the head is down. Blood flow to the brain. So heavy head, heavy arms. Release the jaw. Make sure there's no tension in the jaw. Don't worry about touching the ground or the toes. The goal here is just to lengthen the spine, and we're leveraging gravity to do so. Now here we can do some pranayama. So we're going to add some pranayama to the asana. Here I want you to pull the belly button in as you inhale. And then blow the breath out of the mouth. So normally we expand the belly button when we inhale, but in this technique I want you to pull the belly button in on that inhale sharply through the nostrils and then push the breath out. We're going to pump the breath here, so it's in, out. Do it. Don't skim pull the breathing. Do the breath work. Obviously, breathing is the most important thing that we do. Out to the end with that exhalation. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Come into a halfway lift when you're ready. So I'm using a block here under my hands. Remember, if you don't have a block at home, use a book, anything. Or just use the floor, possibly lifting up the heels here, just onto the tippy toes. So the head's still down. We're just opening up the back of the legs there. A lot of time with the head down, giving that blood flow to the brain. Let's come around and hold the hips and those arms up just to stand, lifting the arms above the head. Let's take a nice big long body here. I'm going to interlace the fingers now and flip the palms up. We're going to take a toe lift here. So just lifting up onto the tippy toes. Get the feet hip width apart. So remember, hip width is not that wide. Not next to one another though. There's a bit of a gap between the feet. And when you're ready on the inhale, you're just going to come up onto the tippy toes. A nice long body there. Reaching up for the balance. Bringing the heels back down. And we're going to fold down to the toes. On the inhalation, we're going to circle up. Very simple here. Just moving the arms in time with your breathing. So the exhalation, we're folding down through the midline. I've got a little bend in the knees. You might do the same too. So remember that micro bend in the knees is awesome because we want to prioritize lengthening the spine. And here we're prioritizing just stimulating blood flow, circulation, breath work. Now, here, let's also add some pranayama. So we're breathing big, the inhalation to lift, the exhalation out of the mouth to fold. So you want that long, full exhalation. Make sure the fingers are spread like the rays of the sun as well. So you're stimulating that nadi flow. Come back to the tippy toe lift. So next time the hands are above the head, let's interlace. Let's lift up onto the tippy toes. Back into the balance, back into the long body. Now the eyes should be open here with the vision fixed on a spot in front of you. The dristi. Dristi, know that Sanskrit word, comes from the word darshan. Darshan, so know that Sanskrit word, darshan, to see. To see the deity, to see the Supreme Personality. I'm going to take a side bend here. So next time you're up with the arms, just like that wind-blown tree, just lift up with the left, drop the right, and then cartwheel. Drop the left, lift up the right. Index finger to the thumb there for the mudra as well. And release the shoulder, release the jaw, release the go to the other side again. Wind-blown tree. Opening the side body. Again, over to the left. Good on the inhale. Come back up to center. And on the exhale, drop the arms. Now we move to Vrikshasana. Of course, tree, fix the dristi. You know the dristi, the vision, so important for the balance. Now, with Vrikshasana, you want to make sure your standing leg, we're going to start on the right leg. So firmly plant the standing leg, spread the toes nice and wide like the roots of a tree. With the left foot, you're bringing it either to the inner thigh. Some people might take half lotus. Other option, of course, is to bring that foot, the left foot, just to the right ankle or to the side of the calf, just not next to the knee joint. On that inhale, you reach up through the midline, through the madhya. Possibility to open the arms into a V shape to make the spreading of the branches. Here in the video, I've gone to my Nadi Shodan, so I'm adding some alternate side breathing there. Of course, if you can close the eyes in Vrikshasana, that is best. So you're relying on the body, not the vision, or rather, you're relying on the sense door of touch rather than the sense door of vision. On the exhalation, we're going to come into Warrior 3. So it's a very easy, just to fold. We're going to release that left leg and let it go back. From there, I want you to switch over, put the left leg on the floor. Take the right leg back. So it's this Warrior 3, somewhere between a Warrior 3 and a standing split. So don't feel like you have to go too hard here. Again, we're working on the balance, the dristi. If possible, you're going to transition now into Vrikshasana with the left leg as the trunk of the tree. The right foot up into that half lotus, the Ardha Padmasana. Padma is lotus. Reach up through the midline. Maybe you take the V shape. Maybe you add the mudra, index to the thumb. Mudra, of course, means seal, sealing together the channels, those two nadi pathways. Hare Krishna. Kalpa Vriksha. Kalpa means desire. Vriksha tree, a desire tree. Desire tree is a explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And the Kalpavriksha is a wish-fulfilling tree. So a little bit out of the realms of Maya here. Remember, Maya is duality. Maya is karma. Maya is the illusionary veil. Separation. Yoga, the antidote to Maya. Union, of course. Yoga meaning union, meaning relationship as well. So relationship with Bhagavan, Krishna, Supreme, Hare Krishna. You're going to fold back into that warrior three. Take the hands down if you need, stabilizing. So releasing that right foot. Again, nice bit of head down time, leg up time, downward flow of blood to the brain. I'm practicing in the morning. This is practice I did around 9:30, I believe. So it's a good morning time, but anytime, any asana, look, use asana any time of the day. Here we're taking a chair posture. So from that warrior three, you're going to come back up into standing, come down to sit on an invisible chair. So those feet still hip width apart, and then take it down into a squat. When you're ready, find your butt to the ground, and let's take a forward fold here. Seated simplicity. Now, of course, the hands might not make it to the toes. If you find it hard to touch the toes, yay, 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 yay. This is good for you, because none of us need to touch the toes. We just need to open up the body. So don't get distracted by arbitrary markers of what you might think yoga is. Yoga is nothing more than relationship with self. So first we're looking at relationship with Atma, self-realization. Who are you? What are you doing? What is this? And then of course relationship with God. So Paramatma. So Jiva Atma refers to you, your localized spirit soul. Paramatma, super soul. We're going to take it into tabletop now, so swivel around, and then chest and chin to the ground. Come up through a cobra and proceed back into Ardha Mukha. Time for plank. We're going to just chill here in this plank. We're going to meditate in this plank. So I want you to find your madhya. So find your midline. Come back up into down dog. We can use this time, so you can either just hang out in the plank or take a transition between down dog to plank, plank to down dog. You might move the head from side to side. Pull up through the pelvic floor, so Mula Bandha. Inhale up into that Ardha Mukha. You might want to windscreen wipe the heels here, so up and over side to side. Remember to keep breathing up to the navel center. Deep, deep inhalations. Use that long exhalation out of the mouth. Movement is the key here. Come out to the high plank again. Find that stacking of the wrists and the shoulders. Take a slow chaturanga if you feel like it. Keep those hips up and come down, moving like a wave all the way up into your Bhujangasana, Cobra. We're going to hold this Cobra. Remember, shoulders away from the ears. Try and keep that spaciousness between the shoulders and the ears. Chin should be level here. Mine's a little up. But again, I'm not going to be perfect with my yoga form, but the yoga system is perfect. So we're working together here. On that exhalation, find your way back into a wide knee, child's pose. Let the toes meet. Keep the hands cemented like they're fixed to the floor, so you can really lengthen back. Heavy head, heavy body. Remember, it's like Shavasana. Every posture should be treated similar to Shavasana, so the weight in the body. I'm going to take a striking cobra here. So the nose to the ground, and you're going to slide like you're going underneath a barbed wire fence. Slide the body out long, lift up into cobra, tuck the toes, and make your way back to down dog. Ekapada, right leg to the sky. And now we're going to exhale to tap it to the right elbow with that right knee. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, right knee to the left elbow. Inhale to the sky. Now, knee to the nose on that exhale. Hold and hover. Tuck the chin. Let's inhale to the sky. And now we're going to bring that right knee again into the bend for the hip opener. Maybe rotate the ankle. Flipping the dog here. So that right foot finds the floor next to the mat. You can cradle the back of the head here if you wish. Or you can extend that right arm, add in the mudra, draw a circle around, and let's circle back into Ekapada. So the right leg is still up. Now step the right foot in between the hands, or get it there in your own time. We're going to come into a runner's lunge. Here I want you to cuddle, hold that front thigh, hands off the mat, and the torso meets the thigh. I'm going to use some massage now into my front foot. So I'm using my thumbs, pressing in between the bones there, just massaging the foot. You might do the same. From there, we're going to lift into a high lunge. So bring those arms up like you're holding a bowl of water in the hands. Now, you can interlace and clasp if that feels good behind the head. Reach up, look up with the gaze, and we're going to turn the back foot down and open out into Virabhadrasana, dog. So warrior two. Check in with your warrior. Remember, you're looking for an even distribution of the weight. So the front, the back. Imagine someone's pulling you forward and back. And now we're going to take this kind of reverse warrior. Bring the hands together for a clasp. So you can see there if you want, reversing the warrior. Gaze goes up. Cartwheeling down. Let's drop that back knee, left knee to the mat. Coming into a low lunge. Arms above the head. You might then come around for the interlacing of the fingers. Just like we did in bridge. Lift that chin. Really squeezing and compressing the back of the neck. Slow and steady. Hands frame the front foot. Pick up that back left knee and we'll come for a twist here. You might like to tuck that right hand behind the waist. From there, straighten the right knee for a revolve trikonasana, so a revolve triangle. So both legs are straight here. You might imagine there's an invisible string pulling you out from the crown of the head. And here I've come up onto my fingertips on the left hand because we don't want to kind of collapse into that left hand. Now we're going to swivel back around into the high lunge. So bending the right knee, picking the arms up and coming back into that high lunge. Circle to frame the right foot and then stepping back into plank. No, into Ekapada. Yeah. Ekapada, Ekapada, Ekapada. Foot is in the air. Bend the knee, bend the knee. Cool. Flip the dog again. So we're double flipping here. Pressing up, pressing up. Come back through down dog and out to high plank. Now it's side plank with the left hand as the base hand. And again, the fingers are spread on the right hand because you're opening up through the nadis. And then if you wish, reach the right hand forward. Add grab the mudra and scissor kick the right foot up. See how that feels. Cool. Now we're going to finish up the left side. So move back into plank, come back and square up in your wonderful, wonderful plank. And just hold in this plank. And on the inhale, coming up into Ardha Mukhasan. And then Ekapada, Ardha Mukhasan, left leg to the sky. When you're ready, bend the knee. So it's the hip opener. Just preparing to flip the dog over to the left, pressing up, opening the front of the body. You can use the mudra, or you can cradle the back of the head. You can draw a big circle around the front of the body. Great for the back bend. The back bend, people, unlocks happiness. Straight up with that left foot, Ekapada. Take your time now on the knee bend. We go left elbow on that exhale. And then inhale to the sky. Exhale when you're ready to the right elbow. Yes, and up to the sky. Now knee to the nose on the exhale. And here you're going to hold just a little longer, round, tuck the chin, lift your heel to your butt, and to the sky. Step on through with that left foot. So on the exhale, take the left foot in between the hands. And you can set up into your runner's lunge here. So we're on the fingertips to start with. We're keeping the head low. We might hug the thigh now, so it's more of a balance. Use your drishti if you need balance help. Close the eyes if you feel quite contained. Massage the foot if you want. High lunge here, lifting up. Take the configuration with the arms that suits you. Raising the gaze, deepening into that left knee. Feeling really strong. As you exhale, that's warrior two. So we're going to flip that back heel down. So the right foot, of course, in line with the back, the mat. The front foot, of course, facing forward, cutting the back foot in half if there was a line being drawn. The left knee at 90 degrees. Might use some arm movements there and come for the reverse warrior with the clasp. So option to use your arms in a different way or to copy this clasp. Bringing the chin around to face forward. Coming towards the end of our practice shortly. So just using a little bit more energy here, swiveling back, take yourself down into the low lunge. We're facing forward, we're dropping the right knee. And from there we might interlace the fingers. Remember to flip the configuration of the interlace. Lift the chin up, keep pressing forward. sensations in the body. This is key. This is going to change everything for you. So being in your body. Hare Krishna. Don't worry about a thing. Remember, the culmination of all the yoga practices is that you've got nothing to worry about. So remove worry, remove anxiety from your body. Just visualize the body nice and open. We're coming for that twist. So frame that front foot. Here, the left arm is going up. Right hand is on the floor. You can choose the positioning of the left hand. You could tuck it behind the waist. You could reach it up. You could add the mudra. You could reach forward. Swivel in the gaze. Now that extended Trikonasana. So just lengthening that front leg. That left leg straightens. Swivel and twist. Use your yoga as a way to remove stagnation from the body, but then also we're going to use our yoga to look after the body. Remember, in Kali Yuga, so we talk about this a lot. This is so important. Context is everything, isn't it? Context is everything. The time of the day, the time of the year, the seasons that we're in really dictate our activities. So extrapolate that out and zoom out, and remember that the context of civilization that you're in now, going for the low lunge, so you're going to swivel that right knee, comes down, take your Ardha Chandrasana, your low lunge or your half moon. I call this one Ardha Chandrasana. Some people might call it Anjali. You do it. Hare Krishna. Step it back into that high plank when you're done. So context is everything. Civilization. We're in the time period of Kali Yuga. So according to the yoga text, this time is of chaos and confusion. So half plank when you're ready. Side plank. Right hand is the base hand. So trust me. The yoga process is designed to work, to liberate you from dukkha, from suffering. Take a slow chaturanga. Now the asana, of course, is not the highest practice in yoga. No. It's actually the most basic form of yoga. Physical yoga, the most basic form, but we're a bit basic at the moment. So being in the basic practice of yoga is okay because we are covered by a lot. There's a lot going on. Enjoy this cobra. We're almost about to finish up our practice. And you add in a head turn here, which you might like to do. So you can take from cobra as though you're looking over the right shoulder. And then swivel as though you're looking over the left. Once you've done the head turn, come into tabletop. We're just going to retreat the body into tabletop and finish with some cat-cows there. Again, breath retention. Again, breath suspension. Hold the breath out. Hold the breath in. From there, we'll thread the needle. So from tabletop, sweep and lift the right arm up to the sky. And then send that right arm out underneath the left side. So bring that right shoulder to the mat. And add the mudra, index to the thumb. Slide the left hand forward. Now the hips need to be centered here. Breathe nice and big. Use that exhalation out of the mouth. Every time you exhale, just feel yourself dropping down again. Come back to the principles of Shavasana. So feeling that heaviness, feel that weight of the body as though it's sinking into the floor. So just like we would at the very end of our practice, we do it every time, every asana. Weight to the body just sinks down. On that inhale, you're going to sweep and lift. Of course, fingers are spread, opening up for your nadis, your rivers of prana. Hare Krishna. Lift up the left. And when you're ready, thread the needle this way. So threading the needle underneath the right, nice and long neck as you come down. And just breathe out coming back through. And now we're pretty much coming towards the end of our practice. I'm going to take a few extra rock and rolls though. So we're going to flip back around and then use that momentum of the rolling back to take you into one of our final postures of Halasana or plow. This is one of my favorite postures. It is my favorite posture. I don't know if I have a favorite, but it's definitely one of them. And here, what is the best to do is to bend those knees if you can. So obviously not everybody's going to be able to touch their feet to the ground behind them. So if that's you and the feet don't find the floor, what you're going to do is hold the hips, the elbows are wedged into the ground, and think of plow like a C shape. You want to fold in on yourself. You don't want any twisting. You want your madhya, your midline, just curling in on itself. If you do find the feet to the floor, legs can be straight, or we can bend those knees. And that brings us to that dead man's posture, dead man's pose, where the head is actually can be squeezed by the insides of the kneecaps. So the knees to either side of the head there, the temples. You can even reach back and grab the toes. So that's kind of the deepest fold there, the deepest back bend. And again, back bends, good for unlocking joy. But then also, great for the blood flow to the brain here in that plow. When we come out of plow, it's a very, very slow unfurling of the body. So just roll out, slow-mo. And when you come back, you can either give the knees a hug straight into the chest or just keep the knees bent. I'm finishing up here with a really easy twist. The feet go to the floor, the knees are bent. Arms out to the side, even into a cactus shape. So bend the elbows 90 degrees. Then let the knees, keep the feet hip width apart, but then let the knees just roll over into that twist. And of course, for the twist, knees go one way, shin goes the other. Feel free to add the mudra index to the thumb. I'm always going to ask you to add a mudra when you can. And we're preparing now for Shavasana. So this is really the end of our practice. Finishing with that twist, change sides when you're ready with the knees, with the chin. And then when we enter Shavasana, we're going to just make sure there's a few things happening. So make sure that you feel safe in the space that you're in. So no one's going to disturb you. It's really important to bring the body into that equilibrium of Shavasana. So remember Shavasana with lying flat on the floor. And if you want, visualize a line down through the center of the body and feel the body to be evenly distributed either side of that invisible line. So visualize the madhya, feel symmetrical. Make sure the palms are facing upwards here with the fingers gently curled. So palms face upwards, therefore the back of the hands are on the floor. And let the toes fall outwards. And your very, very last job here to finish off your practice is just to feel the body sinking. Feel the body dissolving and releasing into the floor. So that heaviness of the body, the weight of the body, just sinking and dissolving. You can use your X-ray vision for a little journey, a little mental massaging of the body. You might start at the top of the head and just slowly travel down through your system and feel heaviness, feel a sinking sensation, just feeling the parts of the body releasing down into the ground and just letting go. So thank you for practicing yoga with me. Thanks for letting me teach you yoga. I hope you have had a really nice practice, and feel free to enjoy Shavasana for as long as you need or as you want. We're just going to finish up our practice together though, just by paying respects to the yoga practice and saying namaste. So Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamane Vaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara